So I'm making a covered fondant cake, and what? I'm explaining the process. And they want the whole thing to be purple, so I have to color this huge, very crusty piece of white fondant purple. But I tape down some wax paper, parchment paper, to my counter so it doesn't slide. Because if I put fondant right on the counter, it'll stick when I go to peel it up. It won't go anywhere when I'm rolling it, so that's good, but then I go to pick it up and it'll just stick to the counter. So, wax paper, it always comes up off that, and you don't have to mess with any cornstarch or, flour to keep it from sticking. Because then you get flour or cornstarch or whatever all over your fondant, and you can't really get it off, especially if it's a dark color. It just shows on there. So I'm gonna put in some purple and blue because I want a funky periwinkle color. And this is the worst part of it, just mixing it all, because it's a lot of work on your hands. So I'll start the mixing process and we'll come back a little bit later and check on this. Okay, so now the fondant is all colored purple, and before I roll mine out, it has to go into an 8-inch cake, so before I roll it, I always shape it into, well, I have a circle cake, so I shaped it into a circle, so hopefully when I roll it, all the sides will be even. I won't have, if I have too much on one side, it's just hard to work with. So I have to start rolling this out. And I don't want it to be too thin because pick it up, break. So try to keep an eye on that, make sure it's even on all sides. Now sometimes you have these fancy rollers that have these rubber bands on the ends that have the thickness set to a certain point so that when you roll, it won't let it be uneven because it will stop it at those bands. But we don't have those here, so you just have to eyeball it and hope we keep it even. So I like to make sure my circle is big enough for the size of the cake. So I've got 8 inches, but then I also have 4 inches on both sides because my cake is 4 inches high. So I need 4 inches all around. So that means it should be about 16 inches, but I know it's going to stretch. So I could probably go with 14 or maybe even 12 inches and make that work. I'm going to aim for about a 14-inch circle. Okay, so now I have probably a little more than a 14-inch circle, and I've kept it pretty even all around the edges, which is important because when I go to drape it over the cake, I don't want it to be too short on one side or too long on the other. Once it's on there, you can't pick it back up and move it because it'll mess up your cake underneath. So if you have it too short on one side, it's going to either ripple or you're going to have to really stretch it and work it there to get it to come down to the bottom. So the idea is that this is going to drape over just like a tablecloth, but a tablecloth is a little too big because we're going to come around with a little paring knife and trim all the excess off. So I know this is going to come up off the paper because I tested it out, and as I was rolling, I would every so often pick up the whole thing, shift it around so that I can get to a different angle of it and work it with my arms. So again, we will show how this process works. So, you can roll it up onto a rolling pin or just pick it up with your hands. You're okay? Okay. Alright, so, cut off my stand. And I'm sort of trying to flatten it out all around. I don't want it to ripple or buckle anywhere because whatever that is, it's going to get a crease or a fold in the end and it's going to look really weird. So you try to lay it out as flat as you can, and you'll see that if you're pressing it onto your cake, it really forms to it quite nicely. You don't have to fight with it as long as you take these steps ahead of time. So I'll just continue to pat it around the cake my fondant was thick enough so that it allows me to do this, because if it was too thin and I try to stretch it around and down the sides of the cake, there's a good chance it's going to get a little hole or a bubble. And you still get those bubbles from the mixing process. And I see one popping up here, but this particular cake is going to get some flowers and some writing, so I'm not real worried about it. And I hope that all your fondant cakes have at least a border and then maybe more for decorations. That way it hides any sort of a flaw. There's always a flaw, no matter how good you are. So I'm now going around the base of this now that I feel confident about the sides. And I'm just thinning it out a little bit so when I cut it, I don't have a big chunk of fondant hanging there. And I'll take my little knife. Oh, thanks, Adelina. Oh, you're the best. Thank you. Alright, then I take my knife and just right along the bottom. I may give myself a little extra room just in case I mess up. I don't want to be showing cake. And I don't want to do the whole thing at once. I'm going to do it in little segments, so I'll break it up. And hopefully, if you've kept it clean and didn't touch the cake along the way, you'll have some nice fondant left over of your scraps that you can save for another time. Just seal it up in a bag so the air doesn't dry it out. And this one looks pretty clean, so I'll save that scrap for something else. So this side is nicely trimmed, and I'm just going to continue around to the other side now. Now that my whole side is done, I kind of just went around with my finger and tucked in the bottom a little bit because it was poking out just a bit. I always like to end with a nice bead border. See, it didn't say what kind of border, so I'm just going to go with the white bead border, and it just covers up anything that you can see there. Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, it didn't look like it from here. Okay, so now I've got my little puffy white bead border. And here's a really cool trick. They want flowers that are dark purple. So I don't like to make roses with any color that's dark, because the more coloring you put, the softer the icing gets, the harder it is to work with, and it just doesn't look pretty anymore. So I am going to make a white rose, and then with the airbrush I'm going to spray it the dark color that they want. And it's going to come out sturdy because I don't have a ton of coloring, and it's still going to be the color that they want. It actually tastes better. So I didn't want to show the airbrush done going because it was a little messy and loud and it doesn't really work right. But here you can see how the flower comes out. Just as nice, and it holds its shape way better than it would if I put all that coloring in. So there it is. There's the roses, there's the border, the fondant. I was able to cover up that little spot. We had a hole with the leaf, so I was lucky there, and ready to be picked up.